Well, it all started when I was probably 5, 6 years old. I have that traumatic flashback in my mind, just, I'm remembering it. We were in Iran visiting my grandparents' house, and it was like late night, and then I see the sirens goes on, and then we go on top of the rooftop, and then we see all these planes, Iraqi planes, bombing the city. All the windows was covered with tapes, and so much fear was going on, and destructive walls that was turned off. Everything had been destroyed. It was quite traumatizing experience. And that kind of led me through this whole journey of starting asking questions. At teenage year, I came across this book. It's called Peace, by Sufi master, Professor Nader Anqal. And I was just attracted to this, and I just kind of opened it, and it just shaken me in a very deep level. As the beginning of history as we know to now, we have evolved, advanced in so many topics, but unfortunately the topic of peace has not really evolved much. And that really, planted a seed within me, and I said, I want to be one of those individuals to contribute. It appears that we still, in that topic, live in the animal world. And that animal world consists of whoever is stronger is on top of the weaker, who have more power, whoever have bigger military is gonna dominate everything else. But we need to evolve. We need to really start recognize that we are one human family. We all connected. So that kind of what led me to start recognizing when I was younger. I was born and raised in Sweden. And with all the amazing things that was happening there, I also saw discrimination in a very deep level. I never forget that I was sitting in a metro, just a normal person. It was a weekend, and I was probably, 14 years old, 15 years old. People were just drinking, and there was this gentleman, he was Swedish, skinhead, in front of the whole crowd. He bashed at me. Get out of this country, you don't belong here. And it was such a humiliating experience that I never forget. And I tried to defend myself, and I was a kid, so I never forget that. And I was in my classroom, and I was experiencing that. Bottom line, I remember I was in a mall, and there was this poster. It was such a beautiful poster. It was a total black human being, and a white human being, and a brown human being. It was a picture of the heart. And it was saying like they all have the same heart. And that was very incredible. With all of these traumatic experiences that I had, it kind of led me to questions why. And then when we came to America, looking at the history of humanity, recognizing there's always been wars, there's always, as of now, it's continuously happening. It all kind of led me to seeking for answers and seeking want to do something. And I learned if you want to do something in life, why don't you do it in a way that is for the highest good of all? Something that, not is only for the benefit for yourself, benefit for everything else. And that kind of led me to searching for doing something, and I noticed the only thing that I had A+, it was art. Art is a miracle of love. And when I tap into a painting, it feels that I'm actually connecting to that wavelength of love. It's very spiritual, because ultimate attribute human can do is create. What happened is, before I turned 20, there was this big question for me: why there is so much war, why there is so much mass destruction, why there is so much killing, and on and on and on. I saw the human history is filled with so much murder, killing, destruction. And and I saw 9/11, and this is happening right here. And I said, I gotta do something. I gotta do something about this. Life is too short anyway. Life is so short. And I don't have any purpose yet. I was 22. What's my purpose? That was one of the greatest questions I kept asking myself. What is my purpose in this life? What can I do, something that is beyond myself? And that's what the lamp clicked. The epiphany just came up. just said, whatever you love to do, use it for the good. What is the solution? Answer became so clear and precise from the logical level. If there are aliens attacking planet Earth, what would we do? There is no question what country or diversity. We all unite. From a heart level, when I tuned in and I listened, we already know the answer. Is that connection? We all step into this planet Earth with a heartbeat. How everything came together through all this contrast that I experienced. We all go through tough times, from interaction with peoples and interaction with incidents that brought me to recognize that we are one. We are one human family. That is my driving force. And no matter what, when we start getting deep and really connect to each other, we see we all want the same thing. It was just so simple and so clear. We are the image of God, but from the dark side of it, we are killing and doing such evil stuff together. My intention of sitting here under the dust for over 8 years is basically to complete this arc, to express the message of everlasting peace by the power of unity, charity, unconditional love, and self-knowledge. Humankind even claiming that is the image of God, image of the entire universe. And why then so much destructiveness is happening? The common denominator, what I noticed and what really tickled me, that life is so short. So I wanted to contribute in a way through art, which I love to do, because nothing is more powerful than you use what you love to do. I truly believe that humanity is going to experience global peace. It's time to do so. Every one of us have that part to do so. I know what my part is. I don't know all the detailed answer, but I know clearly when you have a determination, you have faith, you have guidance from the higher self, it all will come together. All the detail will just unfold.
So growing up, he was mainly concerned more about what was within rather than what was outside, or the social norm that everybody goes through, like college and jobs and this and that, didn't really make sense to him, I feel like.
I remember I was a troublemaker. I was probably 22, looking for answers, going through my roller coasters. I was gone from my parents' house for 2 weeks, just drinking, doing whatever, and suddenly something clicked. When I had a dinner one day and just became awakened, somebody said, why don't you do something about it? And I said, yes, I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna express that through art. And that's what all of these, as you see, is happening. It was actually March 30th, 2003. I remember I could not sleep. I went to my dad and just said, Dad, I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be everlasting, just leave me alone. Just don't ask me questions. I'm just gonna go to bed, or I'm just gonna do something that's gonna be very, very powerful in a deep level, that is gonna not only take care of us, but it's gonna take care of humanity in such a large level. My dad was just happy that he saw me. He said, okay, this crazy guy, okay, just come on in. I'm happy that you're home. And I went crazy. And I just, okay, all the stuff that I learned, that, you just start a universe, the invisible forces will guide you.
It's taken him a really long time, but he's doing a great job.
He's been working on it every day because it's his passion.
There was a glow to him and a joy about it that I had to know a little bit more. I mean, that's what clued me into it.
I think it's a great project, and I'm really impressed with how hard he works on it.
I knew eventually all of these abstract art is going to be a combination of 2000. And this 2000 is a symbol of this millennium. And this millennium is the vision. In this millennium, humanity will grow up, will evolve, will mature enough. And eventually, one day, this 2000 painting is going to turn to a peace painting. And I had no idea how it's going to come out, how it's going to turn out, but I just knew it will come out. All the training that I have from a spiritual level, from all the reading all these books, kind of let me, I just need to just follow faith, just go. And then from a spiritual realm, it's this metaphor that is like the seed. When you put it in the soil, the science already is within. You don't need to know what to do. You only need to just keep watering it. Then the science will create this beautiful tree and fruits and apples and flowers, and all of that will just come out. And that's what I did. کار مثل یه گلی که در میاد، هم برگ میخواد، برگش در میاد، هم خود گلش در میاد، ریشه میکنه، یه روزم زنبور میاد خدمتش، عسل ازش درست میکنه. Staying in this energy of creativity, which is God's source energy. Nothing is more powerful. When you tap into that energy field, you already is another form of meditation, another form, connecting to that source. So I just kept doing, and then it just kind of came. Everything just was unfolded. I went ahead, closed the door, and just started to paint non-stop.
This project is probably one of the greatest works that I've ever seen.
My goal was filling the house. All of these abstract faces as I was just going, just hanging in the wall. And I had all of these affirmations. It was my ritual, so connect and remind myself. Through this path, I started to fill up the whole house. Fill up the whole house with all of these abstract faces. That was my first exhibition. Living room, in my brother's rooms, and downstairs and the kitchen. So I filled up the whole house, and then I told my parents, is it okay? I'm gonna use your ceiling. Is that okay? I can use that. They saw the consistency. They saw the persistence that I had, and I'm just not gonna give up. It took about 3 months to fill up the whole house. I literally made over 500 paintings. I was working 18 hours a day. When the whole house was filled, after that my dad saw some ambition within me. So he started investing and said, okay, keep going, but this is 2,000 paintings. And I remember I was like, I probably did about hundreds and hundreds of them. About a year later, this guy said, a director in the videography field, they said, I would love to do a documentary with you. And what happened is, I said, okay, come on by. And me and my dad, I called the clubhouse and said, is it okay we can actually fill the whole tennis court? I thought this is perfect place that I can fill these up. So I plastic wrapped them, protected them, and then we filled the whole tennis court. I think it was almost 800 or so painting that we have done.
Hello and welcome to the art show, very unique art show here, setting up all the painting I've been working on for the last 4 years. And all this painting you see, they just came right there. It was, how can I describe that? Just sit there and I paint, it just come itself. And I just believe that the universe bring it, whatever it's supposed to be. My intention is just create the Unity Art Project, and everything else comes by itself. And I kept that. There's no painting that you see here that I recreated again. I didn't like it. I just painted whatever it came, boom, it meant to happen. So it has a lot of historical meaning for me. And I look for the beginning painting, the earlier painting, through the most newer, fresher painting I've been creating. Spiritual beliefs, if you want to talk about what I inherited, is totally different, but what I have experienced myself, and the only thing I experience in this universe, the only thing that exists, I think it's love. Look at this creation. Such a vast and detailed, amazing. This is my father. Everything I own it to him.
So no, really, I believe on him. He has a big vision, and I'm proud of him because he's young. He's talking about the peace for the world. His vision is bigger than his age.
There was this African man. He was a farmer. Back in Africa, he decided to go search for diamond mine. What he did, he sold his farm, sold everything he had, and took all the money and went for searching for diamond mine. It took a year, 2 years, 3 years passed, 5 years passed, 10 years passed. All the money he had was gone. The only choice he had, he went by the beach, threw himself into the water, and he just killed himself. He died. One day, the new owner of the African man's farm was one day he was just milking one of the cow. And he was milking one of the cow. He saw a little small tiny rock over there. He picked the rock up and looked at it. He wasn't sure. He saw it was a. He went to the store. He saw not only it is a diamond, his whole farm is a diamond mine. When I heard that story, this whole art project started, because after 5, 6, 7 years living here in the United States, I was searching what I want to do. I was searching anything, and the only thing I didn't do was I didn't look under my own feet. And when I look under my own feet, I saw this is under my feet. I think we all human have that thing under us. We have this uniqueness. Every one of us has a unique talent. And when it's discovered, and it's when it's completely grown, you're gonna give a lot of success to yourself and for others.